Your Samsung TV is off. The screen is black. The power light says it's not running. But somewhere, in a building you'll never see, someone is listening to every word you say in your living room. They've been doing it for years. On March 7th, 2017, the world found out this was real. And it was just the beginning. That Tuesday morning started normally. Coffee shops were busy. People checked their phones on the subway. Office workers opened their emails. At exactly 9 a.m. Eastern Time, WikiLeaks posted 2 words that would expose the CIA's biggest secret. Year 0. Files started appearing immediately. Not leaked by Russia, not stolen by China. Someone inside the CIA had just exposed their entire digital weapons program. Nearly 9,000 documents, years of secret tools. Programs that could control any device connected to the internet. They called it Vault 7. The person who leaked it knew exactly what they were doing. They knew which files to take. They knew how to hide their tracks. They worked inside the CIA's most secret division, the place where America builds its cyber weapons. As experts started reading through the documents, they discovered something terrifying. The CIA hadn't just built ways to spy on people. They had created an entire system that could take control of modern life. Every phone, every computer, every smart device in your home. And they'd been using these tools for years without anyone knowing. The leaked files contained programs with strange names. Weeping Angel sounded like something from a movie. But what it actually did was much worse than fiction. This program could take control of Samsung smart TVs and put them in a fake off mode. The screen would go dark, the power light would turn off. Anyone looking at it would think the TV was completely shut down. But the microphone was still on, still recording, still sending everything back to the CIA. Every conversation in your living room, every phone call, every private moment, all recorded by a TV that looked like it was turned off. Then there was fine dining. This wasn't about food. It was a collection of tools that could hide spying software inside normal apps. That PDF reader you downloaded last week, it could be recording everything you type. The calculator on your phone, it might be sending your location to someone watching you. Any app could be a weapon, and you'd never know. But the most dangerous tool they revealed was called Marble Framework. This one changed everything. Marble could take any cyber attack and make it look like someone else did it. The CIA could hack a bank, and when investigators checked the code, it would have Russian fingerprints. They could take down a power grid and leave Chinese signatures behind. They could attack another country and frame Iran or North Korea perfectly. This wasn't just spying anymore. This was the ability to start wars, to create international incidents, to attack anyone and blame someone else, with evidence so perfect that even experts would be fooled. The CIA had been collecting something else too. They found hundreds of security holes in everyday technology, weak spots in iPhones, backdoors in Android, ways to break into Windows. These problems made millions of people vulnerable to hacking. But instead of telling Apple or Google or Microsoft so they could fix these problems, the CIA kept them secret. They wanted to use these holes to spy on people. They turned everyone's devices into potential weapons. Your phone had ways for the CIA to get in whenever they wanted. Your laptop was vulnerable from the day you bought it. And the companies making these products had no idea because the CIA never told them. For years, the CIA had this power. They could listen through your TV, control your phone, fake cyber attacks, frame other countries, and no one knew. Until someone on the inside decided the world needed to see the truth. The second those files went online, everything changed. These weren't just documents explaining the programs. WikiLeaks had published the actual code, the instructions, everything someone would need to use these weapons themselves. Now anyone could download the CIA's tools, criminals, terrorists, other countries. The weapons were free for anyone to use. Inside the CIA, panic turned into a manhunt. Someone had betrayed them, someone with the highest level of access. They started investigating everyone who could have taken these files. The investigation led to one man, Joshua Schulte. Schulte had worked in the CIA's Center for Cyber Intelligence. He didn't just have access to these programs, he had helped build them. He wrote code for the tools that were now exposed to the world. He knew how everything worked because he was one of the architects. But Schulte was angry. He'd been fighting with his bosses, having problems with other workers. He'd even asked to be moved to a different department. People who knew him said he was brilliant, but difficult to work with. The FBI raided his New York apartment. They expected to find evidence connecting him to WikiLeaks, encrypted messages, proof he stole the files. Instead, they found something else that shocked them: thousands of illegal images of children on his computer. This discovery created a strange situation. The FBI arrested Schulte, but not for leaking CIA secrets. They charged him with possessing child pornography. For over a year, that was the only charge against him. The biggest leak in CIA history, and they couldn't prove he did it. The CIA has tools that can spy on anyone. They monitor their own employees constantly. But somehow, they couldn't find solid evidence that Schulte gave the files to WikiLeaks. When they finally did charge him with the leak, their case was weak. They had theories, suspicious timing, deleted files, but no smoking gun, no clear proof. The trial was confusing. Most of it happened in secret because of classified information. The jury heard about servers and codes and technical details that sounded like another language. In the end, they couldn't agree. The judge declared a mistrial. Schulte went back to prison, but the mystery remained. If the CIA couldn't prove he did it, who was the real source? While Schulte sat in jail, Julian Assange made an unexpected offer. The WikiLeaks founder said he would help tech companies fix the security holes before releasing more details. He would give them time to protect their users. But the US government told companies not to work with WikiLeaks. They called Assange a terrorist, said working with him would be like negotiating with enemies. So the security holes stayed open. The vulnerabilities remained. Millions of devices around the world continued to be unsafe. Then the government went after Assange himself. He was hiding in Ecuador's embassy in London. Within months of releasing Vault 7, his life became even more restricted. They cut his internet, stopped his visitors, added cameras to watch him constantly. In 2019, British police dragged him out of the embassy. The man who exposed the CIA's secrets was now facing life in an American prison. The message was clear: reveal intelligence secrets, and they will find you. But Vault 7 might have been just the beginning. During the leak, WikiLeaks kept mentioning something called Vault 8. Assange said it contained the actual source code, not just descriptions, but the real cyber weapons themselves. He threatened to release it, used it as leverage. Then suddenly, nothing. Vault 8 never appeared. Assange was arrested. WikiLeaks went quiet about it. Here's where it gets strange. 3 months before Vault 7 leaked, Russian intelligence officers were expelled from the United States. The official reason was election interference. But several cybersecurity experts noticed something odd. The expelled officers all had backgrounds in signal intelligence and cyber operations, the exact expertise needed to understand CIA hacking tools. What if Russia already had Vault 7? What if they gave it to WikiLeaks to embarrass the CIA while keeping the best parts for themselves? Some investigators found another coincidence. In late 2016, several Russian cyber attacks suddenly became more sophisticated. They started using techniques that seemed familiar to NSA analysts, techniques that looked American, almost like someone was using Marble framework to make their attacks untraceable. There's an even darker theory floating around intelligence circles. What if Schulte wasn't working alone? His arrest for child pornography was so convenient, so damaging to his credibility. In the spy world, when someone becomes a problem, you don't always eliminate them. Sometimes you destroy their reputation so completely that no one believes anything they say. The CIA never told us what was really stolen, never admitted which operations were exposed. But hackers who analyzed the leaked tools noticed something disturbing. The newest ones were from early 2016. That leaves a full year of development missing. Where are the tools from late 2016? From early 2017? Some researchers believe Vault 8 isn't just source code. They think it's the operational files, real missions, real targets, names of assets, locations of safe houses, active operations that were running when the leak happened. If that's true, and someone has those files, they don't just have weapons, they have America's entire playbook. The timing haunts intelligence analysts. Vault 7 leaked in March 2017, just 2 months after a new president took office, during the chaos of government transition. When security is always weakest, when people are distracted, when systems are being updated and passwords are being changed. Was that timing random? Or did someone wait for the perfect moment? Here's what keeps former CIA officers awake at night. What if the leak is still happening? What if Schulte, or whoever the real leaker was, installed a backdoor that's still transmitting? The CIA's own tools proved they could hide programs that run invisibly for years. Programs that wake up, send data, then go back to sleep without leaving a trace. Every tool in Vault 7 can be copied endlessly, modified easily. But modification leaves fingerprints. Unless you have Marble, then you can make your modifications look like someone else did them. Russian modifications that were really American. Chinese improvements that were actually Israeli. Iranian attacks that were British. The Hall of Mirrors goes deeper. If the CIA was using these tools before 2017 and other countries stole them, how many international cyber incidents were false flags? The 2015 Ukrainian power grid attack that looked Russian. The 2016 banking attacks that seemed North Korean. The industrial sabotage that appeared Chinese. What if none of them were real? What if they were all Marble operations, creating fake enemies to justify real wars? Joshua Schulte remains in federal prison. During his trial, he said something that investigators couldn't explain. He claimed there were others, but wouldn't say who. His lawyer said he was protecting people. The prosecution said he was lying. But what if he was telling the truth? What if there's a group inside the CIA still operating, still leaking, still hidden? The strangest part is what happened after. No massive cyber attacks, no digital Pearl Harbor. The countries that should have used these weapons didn't. Or did they? Maybe they learned from Marble. Maybe every attack since 2017 has been perfectly disguised. Maybe we're in the middle of a cyber war where no one knows who's really shooting. Some intelligence veterans have an even more terrifying theory. They think Vault 7 was allowed to leak, that someone wanted these tools in the wild, wanted chaos, wanted every attack to be questionable, every attribution to be doubted. Because when you can't trust digital evidence, when any country could be framed for anything, when cyber weapons are everywhere and nowhere, who benefits from that chaos? The next time your phone glitches, or your laptop camera flickers, or your smart home does something you didn't command, you'll wonder, is it the CIA? The Russians who stole CIA tools? Criminals who bought them online? Or someone else entirely, hidden behind layers of misdirection that would make Marble Framework proud? You'll never know. And maybe that was the whole point.